the occasion. We have a great lineup of speakers today. Before we begin, I would like to remind everyone that we are live streaming this event on our Region 7 Facebook page. Also, after today's event, we invite members of the media to join us up front for one-on-one interviews and photo or video opportunities. Without further delay, let's begin today's event. I would like to introduce our first speaker, Scott Madison, Mayor of Clinton, Iowa.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. This is truly a great day for Clinton. We all know that the best way in any endeavor is to partner. As the mayor, we strive to partner with our citizens, the county, the state and federal representatives and senators, and nothing makes us more proud than to officially kick off this renewed partnership with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA Region 7. The city over the last 7 years has been focused on removing blight, nuisance, and vacant buildings, but also enforcing the International Property Maintenance Code to ensure our buildings, including all of our historical buildings, do not fall into complete disrepair. With a community that is over 168 years old, Clinton, like cities across our great nation, face challenges with blight and nuisance properties. Here to say that today, on June 7th, 2023, as the City of Clinton and the EPA journey on this partnership, that two critical areas will be addressed by EPA funding. The first is right behind us here, will be the YMCA building. We're currently working with developers to save the historical 1905 building, and as they work to preserve this tremendous building, the city will be working with ECIA and has approved a revolving loan fund for $250,000 to remove all asbestos, lead, and mold. In addition, and in a much larger project, is the award of $500,000 from the EPA to be matched by the city to provide funding to remediate the 1,000 block of South 4th Street across from Hy-Vee, which is a few blocks that way. In this case, the buildings are no longer salvageable, but as we save the old YMCA, we will make way for new development at that 1,000 block of South 4th Street in order to continue to tell the story of Clinton, Iowa, and our rejuvenation and revitalization journey. As part of the partnership, I would like to personally thank Meg McAllister, the Regional Administrator of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Region 7, Jeff Robichaud, Stan Keith, our MC today, Shannon, Jennifer Morrissey and Stan Walker of Region 7, Dawn Danielson from ECIA and their team that's led by Kelly Detmeyer, Mel Pins of the Iowa DNR, Tammy Johnson, our City of Clinton Community Development Director, who worked closely with many of these partners, Krista Broderson from Blackstone Environmental in writing the grant application. I'd like to make a personal thank to the staff of our federal representatives and senators that are here today. Our State Senator Chris Knoyer, our State Representative Tom Detterman. We have council members Greg Obrin, Ron Mussman, Bill Shemmers, Eartha Davis here today. Thank you all for being here. Obviously, a wonderful partnership, a wonderful time to be up here and talking to each and every one of you. So please join me in a big round of applause for all of the fine folks that are here, and we look forward to a continued partnership for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Madison. Now I would like to introduce our second speaker for this morning, Meg McAllister, Regional Administrator for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, Region 7.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great day to be here in Clinton, Iowa, and it's really exciting to see so many people out for the occasion today. So thank you for joining us for today's funding announcement. I love presenting checks, and I'm particularly excited about today's presentation because I get to present multiple checks. Investing in communities to make them healthier, cleaner, and more economically competitive is a top priority at EPA. And it's what the Brownfields program is really all about. This historic building was erected as a YMCA back in 1906, I believe. After being used for rental housing and changing ownership a few times, it was left vacant and in need of serious repair. And added to that, it also was contaminated with asbestos and lead. I'm happy to announce that the East Central Intergovernmental Association, or ECIA, has been selected to receive an additional $1 million in revolving loan funds to clean up this property for future redevelopment. And additionally, we've also selected the ECIA to lead a Brownfields Assessment Coalition grant for $1 million to inventory brownfield sites and conduct multiple phases of environmental site assessments in Clinton and in other cities in Iowa. But that's not all. EPA has also selected the city of Clinton for a brownfields cleanup grant of $500,000 to clean up the South 4th Street property, as the mayor has already talked about, which is located just a few minutes from here. The project will focus on some old apartments and retail businesses, which include an old laundromat. These buildings have been sitting vacant, in disrepair, and contaminated with metals and compounds. All of this funding is made possible by President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law, which is a once-in-a-generation financial investment in our nation that will have significant positive impacts on the health and environment in communities across the country. Through this funding, $1.5 billion will be set aside for brownfields throughout the United States. And in fact, the EPA has more than tripled total funding for brownfields for fiscal year 2023, which will allow more communities like Clinton to have access to this funding. All of these sites have so much potential for sustainable development that will benefit this community for many years to come. So today's announcement also really proves that environmental protection and economic development are not mutually exclusive. Two go hand in hand. Communities all over the United States have received more than $34 billion in cleanup and redevelopment grants, which have also led to the creation of more than 175,000 jobs. Redeveloped brownfield sites even have positive impacts on nearby residential properties, which can see a 15% increase in value after redevelopment. Now, our administrator, Michael Regan, likes to say we're turning blight into might in the brownfields program. And it's true, we are in fact investing in America in a very big way. I'd of course like to thank the EPA Region 7 team for helping make today possible, all of their hard work. And to our partners, Mayor Madison, Matt Brook, Jennifer Walker, Mike Sullivan, and all of you who are here who I have not named, you worked behind the scenes to apply for this grant, and I just can't tell you how excited we are to be here today to celebrate with you. So thank you for having us, and congratulations.
Thank you, Meg. Now we invite Mike Sullivan, Solid Waste and Contaminated Sites Supervisor for the Iowa Department of Natural Resources.
Thank you, and good morning. Great day to be out in Clinton today. On behalf of the Iowa Department of Natural Resources, I'm pleased to be here today to extend our department's cooperation, support, and congratulations to the City of Clinton and the East Central Intergovernmental Association as they continue to be examples of leadership in community and regional redevelopment. I'm Mike Sullivan, Supervisor of the Solid Waste and Contaminated Sites Section. Iowa DNR works to assist communities with understanding environmental challenges and concerns that may be present at sites from past uses, activities, and releases of regulated waste or other hazardous materials. Concerns about these potential situations can hinder property redevelopment or reuse, creating sites that are idled or underutilized. We call these sites brownfields. Brownfield sites are where environmental reputation is that they can be dirty, dingy, or tarnished, and it can be easier to to look at investing and developing at other sites, which leaves these sites to sit in further decline. Brownfield sites don't necessarily fit one type of description. They may be small sites, such as a former gas station with fuel leaks, a former dry cleaner with solvent impacts from solvents, or perhaps even an old downtown building with asbestos or lead-based paint issues. Concerns about impacts from these sites can include soil contamination, groundwater contamination, or even waste management issues. Within ECIA's region, there are certainly many sites that would fit these descriptions, and the former YMCA building in Clinton is an example of where these concerns about hazardous building materials, particularly asbestos, can be a daunting challenge. Asbestos is a regulated hazardous material that's required to be assessed for and properly abated before renovation or demolition can happen to a building. And this is an important process to ensure protection of workers as well as the general public. And it can often hinder the casual site redeveloper, leaving these sites vacant and unused. And while brownfield sites such as this may be seen as an obstacle, they're also an opportunity, as many brownfield sites do not have significant issues, and with proper environmental assessment, risk evaluation, and implementation of either cleanup or reasonable land use restrictions for reuse, these sites can return to productive use in their communities, like we're going to be doing here. It's important to use our land resources wisely, and returning sites back to uses of value with quality help to ensure balanced and positive growth in Iowa cities. The Iowa DNR's Brownfield Redevelopment Program works closely with Iowa communities to help them evaluate brownfield properties and then to make sound decisions to ensure the public health and environment are protected, while providing support and encouragement for redevelopment that will be beneficial for the property, the community, and Iowa as a whole. The efforts of the City of Clinton and ECIA to prioritize brownfield sites for both concerns and redevelopment potential to determine what impacts are there and to chart a path forward for returning sites to productive use are to be commended. Iowa DNR looks forward to continuing to assist the City of Clinton and ECIA as partners, both in environmental protection and enhancement, and in the goal of continuing community growth here and throughout the region. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Now we'd like to invite Meg McAllister, Mayor Madison, and Matt Brook, City Administrator for the City of Clinton, to the front for the ceremonial check presentation.
Right here in 3, 2, 1. One more. And 3, 2, 1. Thank you. See you guys.
Matt will actually invite you to stay in the front for a while.
You gotta make. Whoa. Yes. So, on behalf of the mayor, all our council members that are here, I would like to give this to Meg and her team. So when she goes back, this is less than $2.99.
Very nice.
There you go. For the city plan.
City of Clinton flag.
There you go. Get a picture.
Right there, that one.
This one?
Push that one, the other way. There you go.
Okay, then I'm going to need a step stool. But
So it's all right, everybody. I got Bill Shivers told me to do like 35 pages, so I prepped. But I'd like to thank Senator Kenoyer, House Representative Tom Detterman for coming. Also our Board of Supervisors, Jim, Irwin, and Dan Serp. Appreciate it. I know Dan, you had a long way to go. And it's interesting too. It's like part of this is going to be, you know, telling the story, but it's actually the mayor's business over there that's making all the noise. So just FYI, of course we have some work going on across the street too. But first I'd like to say thanks for everybody coming. The ECIA team, my team that's standing over there that did the work with Krista, Tammy, and Lisa. It's just great to have you guys come out here and celebrate this. And Shannon actually shared something with me that Iowa got actually $7 million, which is just amazing. So it's amazing, and we're proud of that, but also that we have a lot to go on cleanup, right? And so thank you both for our partnership with ECIA, with Ms. Jennifer and Dawn and crew. Of course, in DNR, we love you in the waste as well, but then also for this building here. And I just want to kind of remind some folks that are new to here, you might not know this, so I had to bring this to let you remember. So you probably didn't see this, but our Grow Clinton is actually a chamber and economic development and a visitor bureau all together. They're in an 1878 building. What's the state capitol's building? 1846, right? So, but it's got a nice gold dome. Ours does not. So 1878, and just to let you know, so that was basically hardware wholesaler, plumbing, heating, mill supplies, and now it's basically where we do economic development, and there's apartments above it. The Jacobson building, which is right to my left, the left of the YMCA, probably you guys, I think Tom and Bill might remember Lillian Russell from the 1800s. But she was a famous actress, right? And she used to perform on the top floor up there, right? And it used to also have the Woolworth counter, which I've heard tons of stories about kids going up to the counter to sit when they went down there. Then also, you can see the top spires from here. That's called the Roosevelt Building. 1888. It was a high school, it was an elementary, and now it's apartments that have been refurnished, right? The Bethel Church, which we're going to go to a lunch, FYI, you guys want to join us? 1898, and now it still has reviving happening, but it's a brewery, right? And then the post office right across the street there, that's 1902, has a new owner now, so we're very excited about changing that as well and getting that back into something different. And when you came in off of Highway 30, you probably passed something that looked like the post office, our Carnegie Library, right? That was built in 1904 and donated to the city. Can you imagine that today? I wouldn't want to build that, the post office or that library. And then the 1912 Wilson Building, the tallest one down there with the nice facade and the brand new windows, that was just finished, and now it's 33 apartments and commercial on the first floor. It's been everything from dental places.
The one on top.
It's been everything from dental places to business, etc. The point being is, just like our lives, we start out as one thing, we may end up a different thing, and we want to be able to reuse and do that. I was also talking to Meg before this and the mayor, back in the day, before 1978, when you got all your construction folks together, you went and got a load of asbestos, a load of lead, and you put the buildings together, right? We don't do that anymore. So, and it takes a team, as you can see here, to be able to make these changes. And I like hearing the traffic, I like hearing the noise, because that means that we're a city on the move. As the mayor mentioned, revitalization, that's what we're all about. Doing the small things every day, making things better each and every day. And that's the council members that are here, the ones that aren't, the ones that came before, continuing to work to make this place better and tell that story to make sure that we're out there. So of course, my opinion is saving the community, telling the story, and uphold the values that we embody, right? And I want to personally have Tammy come up here a little further. I'm going to embarrass her. Tammy Johnson, right? Krista, come up with her. Just to stand there. But so when we started to talk about this, there's never enough money to do anything, right? And we started to look at all the stuff. Tammy is our community development director and looks at nuisance properties every day. And we started to say, how can we start to tackle some of these things? Whether it's a old YMCA that we get on a tax cert, which Miss Lisa, who's hiding in the back too, she came up with ways that we work with the county to get those tax certs, and then we do a development agreement with the developer to make sure something's done, it just doesn't sit, right? Because everybody has a different example of what it takes to bring a building back to where it should be, right? Or a different standard, right? So these two worked this and said, hey, can we go to Oklahoma so we can talk to all the smart people on how this is done? We probably won't get this for a couple years, but let's put this in. And it was good to hear Meg say, though, it's about the story, and I'm glad that our story rang true. Thank you, guys. You can go back to the back. And key to that is the property maintenance code, because as I said, we all have a different standard in our life. What food we eat, how we build things, how we fix things, what we keep in our yard, what we don't, right? The International Property Maintenance Code has given us a standard for across the board for all the city to know what that standard is, and that standard that we want to be able to obtain. I usually don't read speeches, so sorry. But folks also remind me, back in the day, you could not park on these streets. They were all full. You had JCPenney, Sears, Montgomery Ward, you had movie theaters, going to a dance class or swimming at the Y, and the purpose was worked and finalized by citizens of what to do with this building here. So it wasn't done in a vacuum. We had many meetings working with ECIA as well, both for this property and the property over to the 1000 block of 4th Street, getting the input of the citizens on what we should do. And so that's why we're very excited, but really what I like to call, as the mayor does too, continuous revitalization of our downtown, right? And that's just super duper important. And so that includes research, learn where partnerships can be formed, find funding streams to assist. And again, want to thank EPA, want to thank Iowa DNR. Mel Pins is not here today, but he's always a good guy to go to. Thank Mike as well. Our ECIA folks, Jennifer's next, I'll move the mic for you. Miss Dawn in the back. Of course, our community development team as well, City of Clinton, the council people, and Blackstone Environment. But the city will continue to work toward a cleaner and greener Clinton for people to live, work, and enjoy, and rely on those values we all embody to keep putting Eastern Iowa and the city of Clinton on the map with even more things to do with the Riverview. Thank you. I'll turn it back to Shannon.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you for that enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm glad I've got my heels on.
Oh, you need me to lower it?
It's okay. So we're going to keep the fun going. Now we'll continue with the next check presentation to the East Central Intergovernmental Association. So we'd like to invite Meg and Jennifer Walker, the Director of Special Programs for ECIA, to the front.
Looking right here in 3, 2, 1. And one more in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. All right.
Congratulations.
Let's not look bad.
It's the part of it.
Yeah, we'll cut it off for you.
Now we'll invite Jennifer to give us our closing remarks.
I knew I was bad in cleanup, so I kept it very short, and I knew I was following Matt, so I kept it short. So, oh, that's our money.
They were doing so well.
I know. I'd rather they fall down than me, so we'll start with that. I'm Jennifer Walker, and I'm filling in for Kelly Detmeyer, who's out of town right now, our executive director. But we just wanted to say thank you for selecting ECIA as a recipient of 2 Brownfield Awards again this year. We are honored to be stewards of these funds in the 6-county region we serve through these grants. These are really tangible ways for us to see economic development and revitalization in our region, and they've been fantastic works for us. We're especially grateful for all the partnerships that have been developed to best use these funds. There's always too many of them to name everybody, but a special shout out to Jennifer Morris at EPA, Mel Pins at Iowa DNR, and Jennifer Clancy at Kansas State TAB program. They've been really instrumental support for us as we've gotten through the first round of these programs and ready to start the second. We really rely on our partners with the local and county governments, especially here in Clinton today. And as we move into the new assessment grant, we'll have partners with another COG, Easy COG, and Limestone Bluff RC&D. In-house at ECIA, I really want to give a big shout out to Dawn Danielson. She has dived into all of these and is so good with details and meticulous that we're lucky to have her. And she works with a really generous team and talented co-workers in the Community Development Department with Matt Specht. So big round of applause to both of them. Assessments, safe cleanups, and reuse work in the Eastern Iowa region is well underway. We've seen a lot of really cool projects come up in our area because of these. And we at ECIA look forward to continuing the economic and environmental revitalization of our region. So thanks to all of you for being a part of us and for including us today in this award session.
Thank you, Jennifer. This concludes today's ceremonial check presentations. We thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. For more information about the Brownfields funding opportunities with EPA, please visit our website at epa.gov. Thank you, and please enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, get some.
She was noticing that a lot of
You know much about challenge?
Yes, I wish I had.
So this is for you.
yeah. Well,
No, it's awesome. Yeah. Hey, this is for
down actually. They give you a pit stop too. So yeah. So Dyersville, and then right after Dyersville, you go down the road, that same road, Highway 22 Waterloo. We're doing
$1 million.
Hi.
I think we should do it right here.
Hey,